Hey everyone, hello. This video is intended to give you a little primer of what is CCC Friends. It's a program we've been offering here at the club for a number of years that helped us out in times of need, and I think it's going to lay the groundwork for the next 40 years here at the club. And if you missed the meeting we had last week, this video is a bit longer format, but hopefully it'll share the why and the how and the who can be involved. So why are we doing this? What is Friends 3? The easiest way to think about it, the club much prefers to reward our current members than a bank. So a group of our current members have formed essentially the bank to provide financing for the club for its activities over the last decade and looks to do so for the next 7 years. That's a group we call CCC Friends. It's a separate entity, completely different from the operation and the management of the club, but essentially it becomes a bank that secures the debt or the financing. So Friends 3 will allow us to raise some additional funds. So why do we need additional funds, Jameson, is a question I get a bunch. If you've been out here, if you've been a member for some time, our irrigation system is upwards of 50 seasons old. A lifespan, ideally, for a golf course is 20 to 30 years. The irrigation technology has improved immensely over that span, and certainly the stresses and the demands from coverage areas to breaks to materials to accuracy of the coverage we can get is certainly much, much different now. And so when we look to replace our irrigation system over the last 3 to 4 years, the club knew that it would be in a position today, at the end of 2020, to maybe fund this project out of cash in excess of operations, which is a tremendous achievement. However, when we went to bid this out to a national search with our irrigation design consultant, we bid it out to 5 companies locally. That price almost doubled from what it was 4 years ago. Now, certainly we can debate the causes of that, and certainly they're there, but no one in our industry thinks those costs are going to come down over the next 5 years, but yet we still need to improve your product on the golf course. Thus, Friends 3 allows us to close that gap from what we have in cash to pay for the system versus what the system now costs. So Friends 3 is the vehicle to do that. And the other part of the project we are so excited about is a very visible impact, which is teeing grounds. Hey, listen, this club is on pace to do record number of rounds for the 3rd year in a row, almost double what we did in the 90s in terms of starts. We need to keep up with that demand. We have our membership that's aging, that needs green tees that aren't just markers in a fairway. We have a membership that's getting stronger, that needs different tees in the back. We need wider teeing surfaces. We need level teeing surfaces. We need teeing surfaces that don't have irrigation down the middle. So these are a great time to do a teeing ground improvement as well. So when we look to do irrigation, the best possible time to do a teeing ground renovation is at the same time. We're already going to have the contractors here. We're going to have to move the irrigation anyway. Let's do it together, and that's our plan. So these funds, the proceeds from CCC Friends 3, would be used to irrigation replacement and upgrade and teeing grounds. The scope of those projects are yet to be determined, certainly determined by the amount of support we get from the membership. We look at this as a referendum on these projects. If you're interested in supporting these projects, we want you to get involved in Friends 3. So what's the timeline? If we raise the money, what does it look like? How does it look, Jameson? So for over the next 6 months, not much is going to change visibly. We may have some deliveries and some parts stored on site in terms of piping and irrigation heads and materials to complete the project, but not much has changed. However, we have to get on a contractor's schedule before the end of the year if we're going to have any luck in doing this project in the fall of 23. So thus, the fundraising Friends program is out there today. What does it look like next fall? During the irrigation phase of this project, we'll have 1 to 2 holes that are closed daily while the crews are working on installing new pipes and heads and systems on each hole. The golf course will remain open as intended. It might be a 16 or 17 hole layout that day, but there's no long course shutdown. There's no prolonged outage for the membership where you have to go play somewhere else. Similar course of action on the teeing grounds fall of next year. There may be temporary tees that are in play until we get the new sod on some teeing grounds. But again, we don't anticipate an entire golf course shutdown during this construction. So, okay, Jameson, sounds great. Tell me the details of Friends 3. And if you're still watching this video, thank you, 4 minutes in. The details are this. It's a 7-year commitment from your funds. We're offering shares or units at $10,000 per unit. Those units bear an interest rate to the investor of 6%. Really simple as that. You can fund this either through cash and a check put it right in an investment account, or you can do it via an IRA. So some of our younger members have chosen this option as because they don't maybe need the IRA money right now, but they know it's a great tax deferred vehicle to use some investments. Our partners at Orrstown Bank have made this very easy transition. So if you have an existing IRA, they can transfer it over. A client told me the other day, paperwork took less than 15 minutes to complete. So very easy transaction. Again, there's certainly a lot in a 97-page private placement memorandum that we encourage you to go through. But the highlights are, we're going to raise between $2.65 and $3.65 million. We want you to participate if you are so inclined. It's a 10,000 minimum share unit. You can buy a number. I think there's a cap, but we can cross our bridge if you come to it in terms of the number of units you can hold. And it's a 6% interest rate with a 7-year balloon payment. At the end of 7 years, we have to either refinance with a Friends 4 or commercially, or pay it off as a loan in whole. So at the end of 7 years, your money has to be returned to you, and that's great. So I appreciate you watching. I hope this provides some clarity. There's some great frequently asked questions in a document that's been released. So I encourage you to check it out. Reach out to myself, the partner, Rick Bodner, or Orrstown Bank, and we can help you fill out those documents and become involved in Friends 3. And I appreciate you watching.